Okay, what's going on? So, this is a 750 person player lobby. Just gonna be talking about it. I don't know why. It's kind of something to do, I guess. And I like making videos, even if, again, no one watches them. So, yeah, this is on RSM Freeroam and Fivem. And I don't know why. I've always had this type of propensity toward just, flying around the map. I'm not good at shooting people. My aim is atrocious, so I kind of like to spectate. The other thing, too, that you're going to hear me mention a lot is that when you're in a lobby, I think the number does dwindle over time, but it's not that much lower. It probably gets down to like 710 or something. Yesterday it was at 900, but that was a Sunday. Anyway, the point is, yeah, when you're in a lobby like this, it's really quite remarkable that the game feels alive all on its own. It doesn't need NPCs. It doesn't need artificial traffic. I say artificial just meaning not real people. You'll see that whatever area you fly over, something is happening. So I cut that clip together. Watching it now, it doesn't seem so smooth. The city is usually very, very vibrant with action. This area specifically, Legion Square, I think it's called, you cannot fly over there in a helicopter. I try it later in the video. I used to get upset with that, like, why can't people just not shoot me out of the sky? And then I realized, dude, consider it a no-fly zone, right? And then I thought, I actually just kind of made it seem a little more realistic. The coast is my favorite region, just because of the way it looks, really. And the desert's pretty cool as well. You can drive down the highway, and there will never not be a time where someone passes you on a car or on a motorcycle. And yeah, it just feels very, again, as I said, alive. Here I jump out. I cut a lot of the footage short. I was just flying around in the Raptor. To me, I could do it for hours, but to a viewer, you would say, okay, I kind of get the point. Good thing about the Raptor, too, is it flies at such an exceedingly fast rate of speed that you cannot shoot it out of the air with missiles, which is good, too, because of its quick speed, it comes off as kind of cumbersome. It doesn't have that agility that a slower plane would have. So it's a trade-off. It's sort of like a gentle giant that happens to have really good cheap shots with the tracking missiles. Sometimes I do that, but I think, they were having a car meet. Did I really need to nuke them? Did I really need to send in an airstrike because I didn't like that guy's Buick? This is a very nice looking region as well. As you can see, this entire dock here obviously is not in Grand Theft Auto. I think it's actually, don't laugh, out of Final Fantasy. I remember trying to look up a dock add-on, and there was one, or a pier add-on, whatever, and there was one that was mentioned from Final Fantasy, but I could be wrong. Here's another thing as well. You see the draw distance is great here. I can clearly see those people over there, but if I couldn't see them, that would destroy the immersion. I think that's something that you're just not really gonna overcome in this game. There has to be a point where, with the frame rate, as you can see, my frame rate drops constantly. I don't think I've optimized it well. When there's just such an excessive volume of people all over the map, you have to make a compromise, and that compromise is just not being able to see them. Most people don't care, because look, I can drive up to this guy and run him over. Kind of just trolling around here, is that the word? Just driving through around this region. It's usually quite populated. There are still areas, though, that you see carry over from Grand Theft Auto Online that you may think, hey, there are 750 people here, there are 1,000 people in this lobby, there were 900 yesterday, as I've said. You still may think that because of that, you can go to any region of the map and there will always be someone there. And it kind of carries over from online, like where people concentrate in popular regions, in GTA Online is where they're going to concentrate here. I guess that's just because there's not really too much to do in some of those places. This happens all the time as well, is you'll see somebody that goes flying past you in a car, and then you start chasing them, not to blow them up. It very rarely ends in gunfire or someone's head blown off up against the windshield. And then another person will see you guys flying by, and it sometimes can start this funny little chain reaction of like 3 or 5 cars all speeding around the map, and then it ends like that, inevitably. The air horn is adding insult to injury. This is a very common scenario as well. You'll be driving, people will be having fun, and you'll actually have even more fun because then you'll see the Apache helicopter, or the KA, whatever that was, come up behind you and just start leveling the area. But I like that. Again, that was a Cobra gunship that just flew past me. Again, it makes the game feel more organic. That guy's out there in the boat. They always add speed modifiers to them, which is hilarious. Because it's this enormous boat ripping across the ocean. Yeah, you gotta get out of the road. I try not to indiscriminately kill people. I'd like to think that I'm not a total psychopath, but if you're standing in the middle of the road in the generic character that you spawn in as... Oh god, now I'm thinking about that. I probably just killed a guy that just spawned in. Never mind. Maybe I am a psychopath. I need a little bit more compassion. So yeah, when you drive up along these streets, it's really cool. Because you will always see somebody. I didn't know I hit this guy here. That was a total mistake. I just totaled his car, I think. It was a nice car. It's a BMW, I believe. You'll see another 2 fellas here just hanging out. He was in a Skyline. I couldn't tell. We passed too fast, but I think that was maybe an R32. The taillights looked like it. I know it was a Skyline. Cops love to chase people. Of course, it's not a roleplay server, but what I mean is people jump in cop cars and they'll hide out on the streets, or they'll drive around and they'll chase people that are speeding. And sort of an honor code. What I mean is, you know, they'll just use a pistol or a machine gun. They won't take out a railgun and vaporize the cop. It makes it fun. Sometimes when you actually add restrictions towards yourself, like not blowing everybody up, not adding a ridiculous speed boost, that's the stuff that makes it more enjoyable. You'll find this funny too. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but I guess who's ever watching it. You'll find this comical. There's a guy out here in the ocean, and I can't figure out what he was on, and then I realized it's a surfboard. Now, of course, you hear an engine sound on it, because that's the only way you could successfully implement a moving vehicle like that into the game. Just how wild it is, excuse me, to be flying in a lobby with 700 plus people. And there's a guy off the coastline surfing. Hilarious to me. There he is. And then I think he changes his vehicle into, it looks like a snowmobile. I'm not going to lie to you, that really looks like a damn snowmobile. There's no snow. And no, maybe it's not. Yeah, so again, in the lobby. Again, this is the most concentrated spot. You cannot fly over here. As you can see, I lasted a couple of seconds. I really wanted to see how long it took before someone shot me down. I was like, man, I'm getting lucky here. And the lock-on starts now. Yep. Again, instant gratification, but it is Grand Theft Auto. Now I'm actually driving around this little BMW. I think that they're the perfect car because in real life they have the speed of some exotic vehicles. They're not understated enough to look like a sleeper, and they're not overstated enough to look like an exotic. I like that. It's really the perfect middle ground. You'll notice as well that when people are playing this game, it's very rare that they hop online and they're like, oh man, I gotta have the Koenigsegg. Oh man, you know, I gotta have the Bugatti. When they see a car that they deem as achievable in real life, or something that is just a cool tuner, like the Supra or an Acura Integra Type R, those are the ones that see that little, like, what is that, a Chevy C10 or something? I don't know. Those are the cars that people want to play as, because, again, it's more relatable. Not everybody wants to drive around in the $3 million exotic. I find it incredibly boring, honestly. I don't, there's no connection with those cars to me. You know, whether it's like that or something really expensive, I like the Acura more. I like the BMW or the Porsche. Yeah, so no one's in the police station. Imagine how great Grand Theft Auto Online would be if they would have opened these interiors. Wouldn't have hurt anyone. These are the cops hanging out outside, and of course, you'll hear the horn in the background. I don't know if it's a Rhino or... Yeah, I think it's a Rhino, but I use the M1 Abrams. That's probably the best, because of the reload times. Yeah, so he's just leveling the police station. And, yeah, this is back again, cruising around at night in the beautiful, I think it's an MK4 Supra. I don't use any of the speed boost that you can use in the settings. I just use the nitrous. There's some cars that creators make kind of suck, not on their fault. It's not their fault, it's the fact that they put them in with default speed settings. So there's some people driving around, they don't need to modify a thing, and the car goes to 200 miles an hour, and Grand Theft Auto, the car tops out at like 120 miles per hour, so sometimes you do need to use those speed settings, but it just looks ridiculous, because usually it really overshoots the target. Anyway, like I said, I really don't know why I make these videos, but I have fun doing it. I like speaking, I like commentating, and I like Grand Theft Auto, jets, cars, and things like that.